Hey, how you doing? It's your friend Phil here, project management trainer and coach. I hope you're doing great today. I hope you are keeping track of the days. Remember, we need to get it done in 40 days. You know, you want to take your PMP exam while your momentum is at its highest. And that's why this 40 days to PMP and CAPM exam success curriculum was put together to get you to the point of optimal momentum. Today, we're going to be talking about the process, develop project management plan. Develop project management plan is all about putting the big master plan together. Because on any project, we have tiny little sub-plans. A plan for how to acquire the project team and how to develop them. A plan for how to manage risks. A plan for how to manage costs. So all of these tiny little plans are created in other processes, but they are put together. They are integrated into a final, huge, in some cases, or maybe even small in some instances, project management plan that should include all the moving parts of the project as identified by the PM. A lot of times when people hear project management plan, they groan, they moan because they think it's a massive multi-page document. No, it could be a very short document. It could be a one-pager, it could be a two-pager. It really depends on the size of the project and the visibility of the project. That's what determines the effort that is put into play when creating a project management plan. Okay, but the key thing to note here is this is not where you put all the micro and mini parts of the project management plan together. This is not it. This is where you assemble the plans. This is where you put them all into one integrated plan, as it were. Now, in a firm I worked in, we had different plans, and they were all physical plans, and our project management plan was putting all of this stuff together into a binder to put them in one place. And that's what I want you to understand about develop project management plan. It's an integrative process where you integrate other smaller efforts that have already started happening, you know, in small chunks, small increments. So it's a cumulative thing. You build up bit by bit by bit. You don't get your project management plan in a day. You know, day 20, you could have a schedule management plan and a cost management plan. You know, day 30, you could have maybe 5 more plans and baselines, you see. And that takes me to page 78 in the PMBOK Guide 5th edition. Please read up page 78. Page 78 will show you what exactly is in the project management plan. It's a collection of sub-plans, as I said, and baselines. Baselines being the original plan. The original goal for schedule, for example, is called a schedule baseline. The original plan for cost, for the budget, cost baseline. See? So not only do we have a plan for how to manage costs, we also have a plan for how those costs will be expended over time. We also have the schedule baseline and the schedule management plan. So go through page 78 and I hope this stuff will become clearer to you. Now the develop project management plan process, it uses the project charter as an input to it, because obviously the project charter has so much high-level information that lots of this stuff could be relevant to how you are developing your plan and the information that should be in your plan. Now, the project charter is one of those documents that contains so many possibilities, or could contain so many possibilities. We also have, as an input to develop project management plan, EEFs and OPAs, but we also have one that's a bit of a mouthful, and it's called outputs from other processes. Outputs from other processes. What does this mean? This means that as part of your project management plan, as you're putting it together, you will need some outputs from other processes. And some of these outputs from other processes are things like your sub-plans, schedule management plan, risk management plan, human resource management plan, and so on. All those things on page 78. That's why I wanted you to read it. And those are referred to as outputs from other processes. In addition to that, we also have something called project management plan updates. These project management plan updates are also looked at as outputs from other processes, because your project management plan is not etched in stone, never to change without the necessary approvals. With the right approvals, a project management plan can change. Okay? We don't want to change it at the drop of a hat without the necessary approvals. But we do want to change it if we need to change it with the right authority, the right approval from the right channels. And I'm talking more about the change control board. If the change control board approves a particular change, that's all right. Okay. So project management plan updates is also part of outputs from other processes. And this is one of the inputs to develop project management plan. Okay. Now the major output that you get from this process is the project management plan. So I would advise that you very carefully and painstakingly read the text in the PMBOK guide about what's in the project management plan. Read page 78 and you'll have a much clearer idea of some of the components of this document, or this master plan, I should call it. Now, part of this master plan, which is not adequately clarified in the PMBOK guide, is 1, the change management plan. The change management plan is one of those sub-plans that exists in the project management plan. Change management plan is a plan for how changes will be implemented on the project. We also have a configuration management plan. The configuration management plan, again, is a plan for how modifications to certain deliverables, how these modifications will be cataloged, how any changes to widgets, for example, project drawings in the case of construction, all those drawings, we need a configuration approach for how versioning will be done. How are we going to version and catalog the versions on this project, on this construction endeavor, and what have you. And again, you're going to have to mine, you're going to have to dig deep for this information in the PMBOK guide. It's scattered across different chapters. But if you go to the index and search for configuration management plan, or configuration system, or change management plan, I'm sure something will come up. If you have an electronic version of the PMBOK guide, you can just search for it. Control F in your PDF, type in what you're looking for, and it will come up with it. I think you'll find it quite helpful. Okay? Make sure you take a look at the words below this video. If you're on Facebook, it might be somewhere else. If you're on YouTube, it might be down below. So read up all of those terminologies that I've listed out for you to read. Study that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining.